So let's just talk about useReducer hook in React. So the useReducer hook is also used to manage state in React, just like useStateHook, but with the useReducer hook we can manage more complex state logic. So if we have multiple state variables with complex transition between them, then we should use useReducer hook. So let's now take a look at the syntax of the useReducer hook. So the useReducer hook takes two parameters. First of all, it takes the reducer, which is a function, and second parameter it takes the initial state, and then it will return one array containing the state and one dispatch function. So first of all, let's talk about this reducer. So the reducer is a function, and the reducer function takes the state and one action. So the action is one object and it contains the type property and lot of other properties. So inside the reducer we can write our logic. So we can switch between the action.type and we can perform different operations based on the type of the action. So based on the type of the action we can modify the state and we can return a new state. And the initial state is the state with the initial value. So the initial state can be one object. Like in example, we can pass one initial count value with 0. So this is the initial object state with the count 0. So let's now talk about this dispatch. And the dispatch is one function and we call this to update the state. So inside the dispatch we can pass one action type, like the type can be add. So based on the type of this dispatch we can perform action and we can update or modify the state. So the dispatch is used to send action to the reducer, and the reducer take that action, and based on the action type it modifies the state and it returns and updates the new state. And that is the workflow of the useReducer hook. So the question is, why should we use useReducer where we have the useStateHook to manage the state? So first of all, the useReducer used where we have complex state logic. So suppose we have multiple state and they have complex state logic. So in that case useReducer will be a better choice. And also in the case where the state depends on the previous state, so in that case also useReducer will be a better choice. And with useReducer we can use action driven state update. So here we can use the action, and based on the action type we are updating the state, so which makes the logic lot more easier to understand. So that's it for the video. In the next video we're gonna see how we can use the useReducer hook to create one counter. So see you in the next one. Take care.